Hello, viewers. I'm SB, and welcome back to Possessors, where today we are completing our sort of survey of the belly of the map. Completing is probably strong. We're starting to do more of it, because I'm sure we're going to run into barriers and stuff that we can't get past. It's a Metroidvania. That's kind of the whole thing. Try and just go down. Okay, so we want to go down and just hang a right here. As soon as it will let us out to the right, that's where we want to be. You seeing this rioting? Hey boss, Blue and Pink Pass employees and their families have begun evacuating the lower levels of the city despite receiving the order to shelter in place. When I look out my office window, I can see the whole street filled curb to curb with residents on foot. I am not going out there to try and stop this. So many people out there, it looks like there's a risk of a crowd crush. Look, I'm going to stay at my post for another 15 minutes, but I won't be staying any longer. I have a silver pass, and I'm not going to pretend like I don't. If you want to find me after that, you better look for me at the evac helipads. Really? And then it's just like a little room that doesn't... Huh. I can't break glass. Can I break glass with... No. Not even a mighty computer mouse can handle the glass. So I guess we're headed this way. That was the wrong button. There we go. That's what I was trying to press. Now, what about this way? This is the room I got stuck in, if I'm not mistaken. Just getting terribly embarrassed by these enemies. Sorry. Take a second there and remember what the parry button is. I'm good. I got it now. Hey, the parry actually worked on that time. I think it hasn't in the past, right? Maybe I timed it wrong in the past. Okay. Well, that's good. That's good news. I don't remember whether I'd gotten to this point before. Drink up and then go after one of them with the greatest force. Okay, you can absolutely glasses that attack. Was there a patch? It feels different. I don't know. I don't know how to put it exactly. These guys are really annoying to fight when they can get up on a ledge. Okay, so we definitely had not gotten through this room before, but unfortunately, we need a key card that we don't have. Executive's key. Alright, let's try this, I guess. Oh, way early. Okay. See no reason to disturb that man if we don't absolutely have to. Where am I? I'm trying to go up. Okay. But, am I going to be able to reach that? I'm going to have to go up too, right? Yes. There's some kind of move that causes you to run up walls or something, and we do not have it, whatever it is. This is the classic, like, I stepped away from the Metroidvania for a couple of days comeback session where you just like reaffirm all the places you can't go. So where does this go? So it looks like there's not really an up recorded for this room. But I mean, it does seem like there's something up there, doesn't it? Can I jump up? Yeah, like that, and then... Okay. Except the way becomes hostile. We're supposed to have an air dash. It feels like we're supposed to have an air dash. Oh, we don't have an air dash, and I'm sure I'm gonna get it. It feels like a fair amount of this stuff isn't going to be really explorable until I got it. You fool! Stepped directly into my trap. Ow. Alright, so what about down here? I do wish the corners of the map filled in a little bit more. Pressed the wrong button there, obviously. Luca! Luca! Psst. Kaz, what are you doing? It's 3 a.m. I need help, Luca. It's bad. I crashed my car. My dad's gonna kill me. I don't know what to do. Can I live here now? Fine, show me the problem. That's pretty crash, dude. It's ruined. My dad is gonna kill me. Oh, I'm so screwed, Luca. He told me he was gonna... Well, I forget what he said he was gonna, but it was bad. Okay, no, we can fix this. Hello, dispatch. I need to report an accident. I crashed my friend's car. Yes, I was driving him home. I swerved to avoid a cat, and I crashed into a lamppost on the corner of Lapis Avenue and Harmonia. Luca, you don't have to... Did you take the fall for him? Yeah, well, he was drunk. He would have gotten in really big trouble. I got in trouble, but it was pretty small compared to what would have happened to him. I can't believe you fell for that. What do you mean, fell for that? Your friend would have been fine. He had plenty and lost nothing. You had nothing and still got punished. That doesn't seem fair. That's really interesting. That's a really interesting way of putting that. Okay, so hold on. We didn't get whatever this is. Although it does look like I might not be able to. But also chopping. Please die. You have so much health. Oh no, he figured out how to evade my glasses counter. Boy, this area is a pain in the ass to maneuver around. I don't know for sure if this thing is remembering the damage instances from the different times that it's on screen. I might not be able to kill it without, doing it all in one go. Boy, I feel like I got that right the first time. I mean, this is certainly somewhere new. We are headed to a different place. I pressed the button way early there. Okay. The ladders do not always want to let you on. I like the way the monster blood like spatters so like flat and bright on the surfaces. The whole 2D 3D aesthetic of this thing is really working for me. I'm dead. Please die, please die, please die. Ah. I needed to stop one strike shorter. Well, at least we touched the checkpoint, so. That feels like some poor sportsmanship right there, to me. These enemies are all very annoying. Oh, I was really thinking you weren't going to be able to make that transition there. Okay, maybe everybody could just leave me the fuck alone. Okay, it's hardly even any currency. There's barely anything there. So there's a pit at the bottom that has a hole in it that we can clearly fit through, but that they won't let us through, right? Yeah, like she could absolutely just crawl through that if she wanted. If we were swimming, we'd be able to go horizontal through it. I did not mean to do that. How did I even? Okay. They do let me annotate the map. I should annotate the map. This is. I mean, like, these markers don't mean anything, right? None of this means anything. Ugh. So we can't get up there because we don't have the ability to scale that wall, and we can't jump off the thing high enough. We can't get through here despite the fact that we can get through here because the game won't let us. This whole room is shown as having just a solid left wall, but these ladders go somewhere. I guess let's see what it's doing. can parry while you're on a ladder, but it makes you fall. Come down here if you want to fight. Okay. So these are trying to take advantage of my my vulnerable status here, and I will not allow it. It just gets you up to a place where you can swing across, I guess. This room is actually, it's surprisingly huge. This is where we came in. Boy, that didn't, it did not look exactly like I imagined it looked like. So early, so early. And there is some huge amount of upward from here, but it's not not actually accessible. If we take the subway, boy, I would say this, the traversal distance, like the jump difference you get when you're running versus not running is really huge. Alright, so let's take the subway up to above the other spot. And then try to come down on that via this route that we have that works but seems not as well mapped as it could be. Okay, so this room seems quite cornered, and I remember this space. Seem to be able to get me here. Huh. Okay, apparently being anywhere near the backside of that thing stun locks you to death. I thought I was just going to go over to save a little bit of time, but apparently not. See, sometimes they let you. There's certainly lots of other places on the map we can still go. But I'm trying to make sure that I'm not missing anything down here before we do so, because obviously, you know, a missed power or whatever can really fuck up your progression. It is crazy what a bad job the map does of representing these spaces. What a bunch of annoying bullshit just for me to be able to get back to here. Okay. So what happens if we go to the right? Ah, there's a one-way thing to the right. With no thing. Just reach through and press the button from the other side. No, remarkably that does not work. Okay. And then, yeah, we're here. There's nothing really that we're going to be able to get going on here. I'm a lot more confident moving around and exploding. But that was with me hitting parry. What happens if you don't? But okay, yeah, we can just leave the area. Let's go to the other subway stop. Let's see some other stuff. Alright, so back to... Well, sorry, we're still going to this subway stop. We're going in a different direction from here. Okay, so... all of this stuff is quite well explored. That zone is good. Green, blue, however, has some obvious stuff for us. So let's go. Let's go see about blue. And hopefully my body and damaged respiratory system will hold out for the task. I tell you, it's been a whole situation lately. Now, I know that we've been through here. We came up to this dead end. There's so much stuff that's not available on our map. Get up here and then jump. There she goes. I do have chroma. Yeah, let's put some upgrades on some stuff. I actually don't have a ton of chroma because for whatever reason I'm not allowed to use the chroma that's in the bank, which seems like a crazy decision, especially considering that they end up like they put the bank in the next room over, and so you just have to walk over and go get it and come back, and then like if it's gonna be not a big deal, why make me do it at all, right? Remain calm. Advise Blue Pass and lower level employees to shelter in place. Pink Pass employees are mission critical and must remain at their jobs until all Silver Pass or higher employees have been evacuated. Sheltering or evacuating is a breach of contract, and consequences of said breach will be enforced vigorously. Unless there's nobody around to enforce them. Yeah, the moving around is really broken up by the verticality and by the, you know, the constant stop and start of the small rooms and the enemies, in a way that really doesn't let you play with the system. Like, you don't get to feel the joy of the movement very much because you always have to be stopping. And I think this is a place where the sort of like the super parry focus of the enemies really works against the game. Just wait, does this just go up this far? It sure does. What a strange thing. And that just moves that, okay. Okay. I don't think I really needed to kill that guy. Touch this before we do anything else, just to reduce run back. Because I feel like I honestly think this game would benefit a lot from having enemies that were less you can't combo you can't combo control them. You must constantly be parrying. That was pretty fun. Not that there shouldn't be systems, but you know, like, I think it probably, given the way the movement and everything feels, it probably would be better for most of the enemies not to be that kind of thing. Oh no. And then, you know, the enemies that are meant to be particularly scary, sub-bosses or whatever, can have parry mechanics. Right. Okay. An additional carbuncle. And a really pretty room. And that's it. I'm afraid that we're probably in for a lot of that as we continue to explore. I might be able to make it up there. Hold on. If I'm running at full speed. Nope. However, damn it. Okay. Something had to be done. Well, that's embarrassing. No, I want that door. I want that one to be down too. Shoot. Alright, let's set this up a little bit. They can just jump at me while facing the wrong direction. Yeah, that one's gotta be down. Alright, now that nobody's in my way, causing me trouble, the idea is interact here to bring this up, catch onto the top of it. Okay. Was that not filled in already? Yeah, I am working my way up to areas that look like they should be traversable. I don't like how dark the right edge of this room remains when we've gotten all the way over to the right wall. We've been playing a fair number of modern Metroidvanias on the channel for the last year or so, and I think a consistent problem that I am having with them is that they are just not good at the mapping. It is so essential that your map be good. These kids are on the roof again. They're spinning over the edge, and wind blew some of it onto the conference room. I feel like we saw this. So why is this area not more clearly filled in on my map, right? Like... Come on, jump. Also, interact to get on ladders is a different kind of problem, but it is a real problem. Okay, so there should be a way up from the demon room. Okay. Okay, we're in new space here. Is this also, yep, executive's key? Not a big surprise. That was dramatic. Seems like the way out is up there. Hey, that's pretty neat. You know, I don't think I am ever using the computer mouse. We'll try that. It's just the computer mouse is a weird... It's a type of equipment that has an obvious use, but that you already have an obvious... Like, you already have your whip, and it's way better for that thing. Oh, interesting. The force of the water pushing down there actually makes this completely untraversable, I think. Is there another way around? Because if not, this is a huge amount of wasted travel time, and I'm going to be actually very annoyed. Okay, yeah, it does seem like if I get touched by the water, I get forced down immediately. I was wondering if whiplashing myself to the enemy would allow me to hang, as we usually can. Maybe if I do a... Nope. Doing a dodge does not take you through the water. And notice we get the oxygen meter right away, so we are considered to be in the water during that moment of pushdown. Maybe I can just like... This is so annoying. Why do this? Maybe I can... I mean... Maybe I can tap swim and push myself out the other side was the thing I was thinking, but that's probably not going to be the case. This is a great example of just like do a thing for no reason. Why does the ladder need to have 3 different enemies that make you stop climbing on it? What is the value of that? Whose design decision? Okay, I think there's just an invisible wall there too, because we were so... On that one, we were so high up when we hit the water. It really seems like they want you to turn off the source of the water before you can do whatever it is you're supposed to be doing here. I guess there's boxes and stuff over there. We can't attack normally in the water, so I don't think I can break those. Alright, well, if that's the case, then the only thing we can do is drop down and, like, go left back into the starting area, which is a place that we do now have some ability to travel, right? I would love to open this vault. We need this executive's key, though. Without it, we're really not able to make almost any headway anywhere, it feels like. Damn it. Yeah, even the moment my whip gets in the water. What if getting around an area just felt worse for no reason? this is the question put forth by these three enemies. And the answer is it would be bad. It would feel bad, and it shouldn't be like that. You shouldn't do that on purpose. Okay, good talk. So yeah, I guess just left. Our remit at this point is go left. How do I get... Wait, how do I get out of here? Must be up there. I mean, I may as well while we're here, right? You know what, let me take all the money out, go talk to the merchant, and then put all the money back. So now we know the stun part of the glasses still works if you're facing backwards. Enemies drop more chroma. More eye is better than less eye, obviously. Well, it's hard to argue with. Not that I can think of a single reason to care, given, again, how uncommon it is to be able to shop, how little value we've gotten from the shop, and, like, it's just... In a lot of games, more currency is the very first thing I will go for. Here, I don't know that it feels like... I don't know that it feels like anything at all. Except that obviously I do love Cheekers very much, and I would do anything. Anything to make Cheekers happy. Okay, so we're going to keep the glasses, right? Now we have 2 slots in our glasses. Can I... I want to... Yes, put thing in glasses. Yay! So is that active as long as I have the glasses equipped, or is that only when I kill stuff with the glasses? I kill stuff with the glasses a lot, so it's close to the same. Alright, anyway, Cheekers. Is there anything else you can do for me? All you do is add circles to stuff. Let me... So to be clear, left click purchase. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, I'm apparently not allowed to purchase on this one. I mean, I wouldn't really want it anyway. It's interesting that, like, yeah, sometimes I can and sometimes I can't actually make the purchase happen. This menu is very finicky. We may as well make room for everything, right? And then it would cost 4 points to put a second. Yeah, okay. Make room in everything. What am I supposed to do during the right. Yeah, is Agridine really going to sue me if I leave my desk? I remember. The answer is, you'll be so lucky if it's a lawsuit. Rebank everything and then just try to go left as best we can, I guess. I don't want to use the elevator. I want to go above the elevator. Okay, so it gets down there. So when last we were here, we had far fewer abilities. And we had already seen several directions blocked off by the soda can machine monsters, I think is what they're supposed to be. So I am curious to see what we can access now that we could not access before. And whether any of it's actually going to be helpful, or if it's all going to be this shit. So you don't have access to the upper area. Right, trying to head back. Oh. That apparently didn't actually make contact with me. And then I made myself look silly doing the counter way too early. That suplex is actually really satisfying to use. So yeah, they know once you come back through here, like, you're powered up. And as such, they can kind of let you have it. This is probably just taking me back up to a place I don't want to go, but... yeah, I wanted to see if we could get out the top left. Nope. Nope. There we go. Okay, still don't have the key for my house. Try my best to map the actual edges of the space here so that our map can be reasonably complete looking. What am I looking at here? It's like a little... huh. I can't even really make sense of the space. There's like a wall. There's something on the other side of the wall, or... apparently we were in here before. Apparently we got a power here before. But if that's the case, then how come the door's in one piece? So much dancing around before the attack actually happens. I mean, this is promising. This is new looking stuff. Yeah, definitely new. All right. So we got ourselves another subway entrance, and I was hoping that that would also mean a checkpoint. That's just the way that area is shaped, which is to say, strangely. There's a lot of that going around in here. You know what would be really cool is if those enemies, and also generally enemies, stayed dead. And I didn't spend most of my time re-killing the same enemies over and over again. Okay, so we got a big heavy thing here. Ah, I see. It is blocking our path forward. Sure, we can use that attack to cut through the walls, but the bulletin boards are made of sterner stuff. Yeah, I do appreciate the way the suplex is letting me take a much more offensive tack to fighting a lot of these enemies. So there's this huge broken window that leads to a space to the left, but that's slightly in the background. She would have to step to her right, like a foot, and she's simply not willing to do that. That's not how we do things here. All right. Well, let's see about riding the elevator downward. As ever, the enemy that lurks just beyond the camera boundary, waiting to hit you when you can't possibly know what's going on. It's just, why? Why do this? Why design these areas? And it's not like I was doing anything special or like baiting that, right? I was playing, I think, in a pretty normal way. Any playtester probably would have seen the same thing happen. But who knows? Maybe I'm just a legend at bringing these behaviors out of the enemies for whatever reason. But there's clearly something below us. Yeah, okay. Good suplex. Solid suplex. Huh. weird little combat zone. Okay, that guy's unsuplexable, it turns out. Yep, even when he's in his crouch state. Okay. So there shouldn't really be anything this way. Nope, that is in fact a dead end. Alright, what did I earn access to? Ah. Don't care for it. What? Well, I definitely pressed the button, but must have been too slow. Here's the thing about being 40. It sucks, all of it. I wouldn't recommend it to anyone. It kicks the hell out of the alternative, I guess. It has that going for it. Oh my god, the teamwork. Their tactics are impeccable. Jesus. Oh, I didn't think the red barrels actually exploded in this game, because, as we've seen many times before this, they don't, generally. Okay, well, was that really it? Was that... No, there is... You are intended to be able to get through there. But I would have to go back and fucking refill my health and medicine options. Well, this is all going super smoothly. I'm doing a great job here, obviously. So wait a second. The terrain damage persists. But not the enemy deaths. Well, yeah, because that's how it is in Dark Souls. And didn't you know? The video game we've made here is Dark Souls. It's the only video game anyone makes anymore. That's not true. Every once in a while you get somebody who makes a ballad. Oh, now it's glowing. That is supposedly a breakable surface. I mean, maybe it was an explodable surface. Maybe it's only able to be taken out while there were still drums. Yeah, no, it doesn't really... The design on the map does not comport with reality. So I guess we'll just go this way instead. Ah, because this is the... That area ends down here. This is the... Never mind. Everything's fine. What? You missed me. It never ceases to amaze me, the propensity that the enemies have to miss me for no reason in video games, in situations where hitting me would be bad for them. Like all of a sudden they know. Okay, well, don't touch that stuff. But it does, I mean, there's definitely something down to the left here. The other one, I think, went through the wall somehow, but... I mean, he's in there now. Okay, so this is just a dead end. Maybe not exactly. Huh. I mean, I may as well, I guess. Refill our medicine uses. So this is like way back. What a strange area. Alright, before we go any further, hold on a second. I do kind of want to see how far left it will let me go. Oh my god. Stop. Hand twitching. Oh, right, except we're not going to be able to get back out this way. So I'm going to need to... Alright. Very annoying stuff. That parry ended up being a little early due to the incredible amount of hesitating that enemy does before attacking. Okay, just a tiny, gross, bubbly cache of the gross, bubbly stuff that we need to live, apparently. Okay. So we've really just wound our way back around here. We've mapped all this out, and I suppose the only thing left to do is go back to the right. I forgot you have to parry these twice. It just didn't. Okay. I was mashing the suplex button, and maybe it goes on cooldown after a couple of uses or something, to prevent you from doing precisely what I was going to do with it there, which is just suplex lock that enemy to death forever. The dominant combat style of this game is more defensive than I would like. There's so many enemies where, like, you know, these guys are just, they're invulnerable when their cone's down. There's no counterplay. This is the only thing you can do. It's just like, if your game's not going to be tuned like 9 Sols, then this is not fun, and even then it wasn't fun a lot of the time. Feels like people have forgotten how to make games where the combat felt any other way. Which is a shame, because I don't think this kind of combat is particularly well suited to this kind of game. Again, like, having just played 9 Sols gives us a really good point of comparison for this. And I think that game was executed pretty impeccably. Like, the actual, say what you will about design choices or whatever, like, the actual execution was incredibly solid. And even so, I think it didn't work as often as it did. Okay, that guy was a special red-faced variant of the Sign Man with like 4 times as much health. I can't wait to see what the power-up is that allows us to crouch slightly more than we can already crouch to get into spaces like that. Ow. Alright, well, I appreciate the help, I guess. That's what's on the other side of that crouchable wall. It's just a nowhere space? Wait, really? Nope, I did open up that vent. I think there is something under there, and we will need whatever slide power. Alright, well. That's interesting. What a strange, whatever this is, to be growing at the bottom of our reservoir here. Samples from a mysteriously glowing plant. An herbalist may be interested in this. Huh. Okay. Well, let me know if you meet one, I suppose. We still don't know how many of those it takes, right? Alright, so we have some kind of boss up above us. Okay. And this asshole making sure we don't get too comfortable down here. Alright, well, this is a weird little area. I'm glad I fell down here, I suppose. But maybe... Now let's try to stay dry. Huh. Is there not a continuation of that path there? Did I just miss it? Oh, it's one of these. Huh. But no, it does legitimately seem to require another node to be there, one that we do not have with us. Or... Okay, yeah, it seems like we're just not going to be able to go this way yet. Well, we did eventually get some new stuff on our map. It wasn't quite as productive, perhaps, a day as I had hoped, but we did eventually get something on our map. So that's going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. When you come back next time, we're moving the plot along, I swear to you. We are going to run out of places to go. Eventually, we will find a thing that moves us forward somewhere. So come back for that, and we'll see you then.